afternoon. My name is Terry Davidson, and on behalf of the Jackson County Library, it's my honor to welcome you here today to their second annual Holiday Harmony. It was an event that was created last year as a way to celebrate the rich cultural traditions of the many folks who call Jackson County home. It is also an opportunity for us all to be able to learn how different cultures observe their midwinter holiday that are different from our traditional Christmas. Last year, it was a wonderful face-to-face event, an open house in the Seymour location. There was music and crafts, food, lots of speakers, and of course, the traditional visit from Santa. But like many other events this year, we aren't able to come together. But they have put together a virtual opportunity that will have all of the components from last year. And even if we can't enjoy the warm fellowship of gathering, the library has worked very hard to be able to offer a drive-by pickup craft along with a hot cocoa mix and a cookie to get you in the festive mood. And this year's Holiday Harmony will again honor our cultural holiday traditions through lots of music. Silent Night will be in multiple different languages, and there'll be the sharing of more stories about our diverse cultural activities, as well as that visit from Santa. So I invite you to sit back, grab a warm beverage to sip on as our Jackson County Library celebrates the traditions of our varied midwinter celebrations.
Hi, my name is Donata Cuccinata. I'm a professional singer here in Seymour, Indiana. I've sung with orchestras and opera companies all over the world, but you might recognize me from the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra's Yuletide celebration, where I've been a featured singer for the past 4 years. I've also sung with Indianapolis Opera as Musetta in their production of La Bohème, and you might also recognize me from my Sika concert with Dave Hartung, where I play the banjo back there. I wanted to include in this collection one of my favorite Italian Christmas carols, Gesù Bambino, that I'm going to sing for you today in English.
Christmas arose, the King of love and light.
Merry Christmas and Buon Natale.
My favorite holiday tradition started when my sister and I were little kids. Every year my sister would get up about 5 a.m. I never wanted to get up that early, but she would always wake me up. We would go downstairs, we would empty out our stockings, put everything back in, and then go back to bed, which usually lasted about 10 minutes. Then we would go wake up my mom and dad, and we would sit on their bed, and we had to wait for them to go downstairs and make tea and give each other Merry Christmas kisses, and it's like, oh, Mom, Dad. We would bring our stockings upstairs, and we always opened our stockings on their bed, and that's my favorite memory of all time.
Hi. For Holiday Harmony, we wanted to do a traditional Christmas carol and see how many languages we could hear it sung or spoken in. So I will start us off with Silent Night in the English version, so feel free to sing along if you'd like. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
When I was growing up, we had our holidays at one of two places. One was my grandmother's house, and she was an amazing cook, so we loved going there. But I also had an uncle who was a funeral director, and so many of our Christmases were spent at a funeral home on the second floor, and sometimes we would go down and play in the rooms where there might have been a casket, or we never saw the dead body, but there were people there sometimes. And if there was an actual funeral going on, we had to be very quiet with our parties. It wasn't the most fun, but it was really quite interesting.
Piękna nicz, świata nicz, jasnic biewy cyrnic, ty nonka preswiata. Taka jasna mów zorja, spoczywaja w tichim snie.
So my favorite tradition is every year after we open presents, I take the time to sit down and I call all of our grandparents and we talk to them, and they always ask what Santa brought to the house, and we just get to talk for a little while.
Hi friends, amigos, my name is Ana de Gante and I am happy to sing for you Silent Night in Spanish, Noche de Paz. Noche de paz, noche de amor, todo duerme alrededor, entre los astros que esparcen su luz, bella anunciando el niñito Jesús, brilla la estrella de paz, brilla la estrella de paz. Noche de paz, noche de amor, voz de humilde al fiel pastor, coro celeste la anuncia salud, gracias y glorias en gran plenitud, por nuestro buen Redentor, por nuestro buen Redentor. Noche de paz, noche de amor, ved que
Hi, my name is Christy and I work at the Seymour Library. My favorite probably memory of Christmas is counting down the days. We have this quilted calendar for December with a little stuffed animal mouse with little pockets, and every day we can move it into the different days. That was my favorite memory.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. My Christmas memory I had growing up was traveling to Florida every year, or at least every other year, to visit my grandparents. And when you think of going to Florida, you think, oh, we're going to go to the beach or Disney World. I've never been to Disney World in Florida, and we didn't really go to the beach either. So what we did was visit my grandparents in a little small town, and we just hung out with them. We played games together, watched movies, and it was just a really, really nice time just to spend time with family that you don't get to see very often. Okay, one of my favorite Christmas memories is matching Christmas pajamas. My husband and I started it a couple years ago. We dressed up as Yetis the first time we ever did it. Last year, when my daughter was born, we had matching like bear mom and dad shirts, and hers didn't fit because she was too small. But this year, we have matching Grinch pajamas, and even my dog matches us. So that's my favorite holiday memory.
My family is what meant so much to me. My mother and my father, having Christmas dinner there, it was just special.
Stille Nacht, heilige Nacht, alles schläft, einsam wacht, nur das heilige Elternpaar, das im Stalle zu Bethlehem war. Bei dem himmlischen Kind, bei dem himmlischen Kind.
Christmas for me on traditions was always fun. We would get up on Christmas morning and we would open presents, my brothers and sisters and mom and dad, and then we would go to my grandma's house, which was always a lot of fun. We always loved going to grandma's. The other one would be going to the farm, the Daggy farm up in Thorntown. We would sit up there and we would be playing with our cousins and having our food and just having a lot of fun. And now traditions have changed a little. Our family comes to our house, and we can't wait to see our grandkids' faces on Christmas morning, to see the joy in their eyes. Hope you all have a great Christmas.
Привет, or hello. My name is Emily Engelking, and I'm going to talk to you about Christmas traditions in Ukraine. I lived in Ukraine for 2.5 years, and Christmas was always my favorite holiday to celebrate with friends and family, and it was just always really fun. So the biggest difference in traditions is that Christmas in Ukraine is typically celebrated on the 7th of January, and that's because a lot of people in Ukraine are Orthodox Christians. So there's a different calendar that they go on than we do. Of course, some people celebrate Christmas on December 25th, but a lot of people celebrate on January 7th. And a lot of the really fun things happen on Christmas Eve, so January 6th. You will spend all day cooking all of these amazing dishes, and then really early in the morning, the family will sit down together and have dinner. My favorite kind of tradition in Ukraine for Christmas was that there had to be 12 dishes on the table. And those 12 dishes would represent the 12 apostles of Christ. And everyone in the family would have one dish that we would start out with. It's a dish called kutia, which is kind of a sweet oatmeal with honey and poppy seeds. And everyone in the family takes a bite of this, and it's supposed to bring you good luck and prosperity throughout the year. And then you can go and continue eating the rest of your meal. I really love these traditions, and I hope that you do as well.
Hi, this is Janet in Information Services, and one holiday tradition I wanted to share with you is my Christmas village. When my children were small, there was a store in the town where we lived that sold different Christmas villages, all the Department 50 series, and so we would go and look at them, and that was a favorite thing for us to do. And one year they and their dad surprised me with one of my own. It was the reindeer barn here was my very first one that I got in about 2000. And so since then I have definitely added to my collection, and some of them are part of the series, some of them are not. But it's a fun part of our Christmas every year. And so on Pinterest, I'd seen the different stands. I've seen them decorated with greenery and lights and stuff, but I really liked just the plain white version of it. And so that's the new home for my Christmas village. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks. Bye.
Hello everybody, and welcome to my presentation for Holiday Harmony, where we talk about the pagan ritual of Yule. At the winter solstice, we celebrate Yule. It is the light in the darkness. It's the longest day of the year, where we reflect on all the things that we have manifested for the year. At Yule, we have our Yule log, where we light the candles for the maiden, the mother, and the crone, the three aspects of the goddess. With candles that bring light into the darkness, Yule is celebrated at the winter solstice, which is the longest day of the year, where we meditate and reflect on everything that we have manifested during the year and what we would like to see manifest in the next year to come. Yule is a time for gift giving and celebration. And thank you for coming to my Yule table.
Hi, my name's Miss Chelsea, and one of my favorite traditions that I do with my family is we get together every year and we bake cookies and we make all sorts of homemade candies, and then we box it up and we send it out as gifts. Us ladies always get together, and it's one thing that I look forward to every single year.
Hello, my name is Andrea Fernandez, and today I'm going to talk about Los Reyes Magos, the Three Wise Men, and La Rosca de Reyes, the King's Ring. There are many Mexican traditions, and La Rosca is one of the most delicious there is. It's a tradition to eat a rosca every January the 6th to celebrate the arrival of the Three Wise Men to worship baby Jesus. Its origin is European, and it was created due to Catholic beliefs. The story of the Three Wise Men tells the journey of three kings of different cultures living from Persia to Bethlehem to venerate the newborn prophet. Upon their arrival, they greeted Mary and Joseph and presented gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Every 6th of January, Catholic kids find toys and clothing under the tree or in their shoe. It's a magical event which starts with a letter of the toys the kid wants and is sent to the skies tied to a helium balloon. La Rosca de Reyes, or King's Ring, is a pastry that is normally eaten on this same day of January. The bread or cake is a symbol of the infinite love of God, without beginning nor end. It also simulates a king's crown. It is garnished with dry fruit, figs, cherries, and other traditional candies. Inside of the bread, there is a tiny baby Jesus hidden. The tradition of the hidden figure was born in France thanks to a pagan custom of choosing a king for the holidays. Inside of a ring of bread, they used to hide a broad bean to choose it. In the Catholic tradition, it represents when Mary and Joseph were trying to keep their baby safe from King Herod's persecution, who tried to kill any newborn child who could turn into the King of Jews. In Mexico, it's tradition to slice the bread, and whoever finds the little figure inside has the obligation of becoming the godfather of the little plastic child. This honor comes with the responsibility of inviting the people present that day to eat tamales and atole on February the 2nd in Candlemas Day.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Trapp, and we have a couple of traditions in our family that are pretty important to us. One is we go to my daughter's on Christmas Eve and pretend like it's Christmas Eve, so our grandkids can open their gifts on Christmas Eve day, and we have the whole day with my family, and then they're free to go to the other in-laws on Christmas Day. And then we also buy our kids a family ornament every year that has everybody's name on it and the year, and we send that to them. And this year the ornaments have masks on all the little people, so I thought that was cute. And then we also go to the Indianapolis Museum of Art for Winter Lights. It's a beautiful festival of lights, and they're even doing it this year with COVID. They are doing social distancing, and they have it just going one way through the lights, and they're just beautiful. And it's really worth a trip to Indianapolis to see that. So those are some of our traditions that we do.
Hello, boys and girls. Hope you're having a fine, fine day. Santa Claus is going to read you a couple of stories today. I love to read, and I hope that you do too. Let me impress upon you the importance of reading. and using the Jackson County Public Library. There's nothing better than you can do than learn to read and enjoy reading. Reading affects every aspect of your life. Now, with COVID going on, you can't go in the library, but if you contact the library, the ladies that work in there will be glad to help you get a book and help you pick out books and find books that you can read. So visit our Jackson County Public Libraries. Will you do that for me? The first book that I want to read to you is called A Cookie for Santa. It's written by Stephanie Shaw and illustrated by Bruno Robert. Santa loves cookies. This ought to be a great book. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and there on the plate was a gingerbread boy awaiting his fate. The children had baked him and dressed him with care, using currants for eyes and icing for hair. They knew that St. Nick, with his overstuffed pack, would be sorely in need of a midnight snack. The Christmas tree sparkled, the strands of lights glimmered, snowflakes and garlands all glittered and shimmered. The gingerbread boy, despite all this beauty, nervously pondered his Christmas Eve duty. Later that evening, when he'd be devoured, would he be brave or a crumbling coward? Bursting into the room, "All this is for us!" Two puppies came bounding and started a fuss. They leapt and they snapped and they played tug of war. They pounced and they pawed and they ripped and they tore. The gingerbread boy thought, "Oh, what can be done? These puppies are having the wrong kind of fun." He knew to save Christmas, he'd need to take action. "I'll make myself into a doggy distraction." "Come, rascal, come, Rowdy," he called them by name. "I'll show you a much better Christmas Eve game." "A biscuit!" they barked with howling dog joy. "And one that can talk, it's a gingerbread boy." And what he did next made those naughty pups stop. "Look at me," Cookie cried. "I can spin like a top." He twirled and he spun until he was dizzy, keeping exuberant puppies very, very busy. See him spitting on the ball? Tails wagging, tongues drooling, the pups were entranced while a gingerbread boy deliciously danced. But the gingerbread boy just spun round and round until those young puppies at last settled down. A jingling of Christmas bells came from outside. "It's Santa!" the pups yipped. "Woof! Let's go hide." See him hiding? Would Santa start with his legs or his head? Would he nibble his arms or his buttons instead? Santa said, "On my radar there was trouble reported. Can you lend me a hand getting all of this sorted?" The gingerbread boy helped jolly St. Nick with morning approaching. They had to be quick. When the work was all done, Cookie climbed on the dish. He looked to the stars and he made one Christmas wish. Then he heard Santa say, "We make a great team. Come hop in my sleigh. There's more homes to visit before Christmas Day. And I need you for duty up at the North Pole." Toy soldiers saluted and gave a drum roll. Christmas morning, the children found gifts and a note. In festive green ink, Santa Claus wrote, I searched the world over and found at this stop the perfect night watchman to mind my toy shop. And as for those pups that created a mess, I've left something special for them. Can you guess? It's a gift certificate. Good to the Bone Puppy Obedience School. Maybe they'll learn some manners from that obedience school, you think? Now that was a good story. I really enjoyed that. A cookie for Santa. Now Santa wants to read to you his favorite story. It's The Night Before Christmas by Clement Moore. Look at that picture of me. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mom in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. Then out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, the coursers they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As the leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetops the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung o'er his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down on a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, ho, 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 and to all a good night." Ho, 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 ho. Wasn't that a good story? Weren't both of those stories just really, really fun? Now, boys and girls, I want to encourage you. We've got a few days left till Christmas, so be very, very good. And get those Christmas lists written out and sent to me. And I just know that on Christmas morning, be something very special under that Christmas tree, just for each one of you. Will you do that for old Santa? Merry Christmas!
This is Emma, and my favorite Christmas memory and tradition is that my mom and dad, every year for as long as I can remember, they get us the Lifesaver storybooks that have the Lifesaver candies inside. They're becoming harder to find, but my parents seem to find one every year to give it to us. Happy holidays, everyone.
So